Starter for 10.
Welcome to Bookham Baptist Church, Starter for 10. I'm Liz, and I'm joined by Steve and Rob this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you here. So we're going to be together for 15-20 minutes and just to give a little teaser into what's happening at the service this morning at 10:30. So Rob, could you give us a little thought about what we can get going this morning thinking about?
Yeah, so thinking about our lives and the world at the moment, what reasons do we have to be hopeful at this time? So perhaps we've got some stories, and I'm sure Steve would like to hear some stories online, but maybe we'll kick off with some stories of our own, of kind of reasons that make hope start to rise up in us. And shall I start?
Yeah,
shall I start us off? Well, maybe I'll share both my stories that I had, which were that for the Welsh rugby team, it's been an absolutely terrible season, and but for lots of sports fans, you've always got to find reasons for hope. You've got to find reasons for the next player that's going to come through, and it's just going to revolutionize the way that the team plays. So that was, we're always looking out for a reason for hope, place our hope in a player that might transform things. So that was one of my kind of little thoughts. The other was in the mornings, often it's me and Freya that get up early, and we generally go about kind of getting ourselves ready for the day, and very often I will discover Freya upside down. She spends quite a lot of her time upside down, in handstands and cartwheels and hanging off bars and stuff like that, and that just kind of makes me feel hopeful about the world. It's somebody who's kind of just knows a bit of freedom, doesn't really feel too much of the heaviness or burden of life, but is just enjoying life and is hopeful for the day.
Love it. Well, for me, I am very excited about going into half term, as my children are as well. So I think hope for me is a lion tomorrow morning. Yeah, we've got James is off work as well, so hopefully I'll be able to sleep beyond 6:45. That's my hope. But also very aware for those parents out there who hardly get any sleep. So I'm not going to milk it too much, but yeah. I'm hopeful for some extra sleep.
Would you like me to respond as well? Yeah. So similar to what you were saying, really, Rob, about those little signs of hope. I'm a very kind of hopeful person, and I can quickly be summoned to hopefulness out of maybe not feeling so positive. And so the start of a new day does it for me, just particularly if it's a sunny morning like it was today, or when spring starts to happen. Out of a long, dark winter, then I find that those are little signs of hope that I really respond to. But I've remembered something else since we talked on this. On Friday, Sarah and I visited, I'm going to call it an animal sanctuary, but there are lots of animals and birds of prey. And we saw some creatures that were described as critically endangered. There's a kind of whole range, and hearing some of the stories of what the highly populous kind of creatures that now down to sometimes a handful, just coming back from almost extinction. But there was a sign of hope just in actually seeing those creatures and the care and love and vision that the crew who are looking after them had. I found that kind of gave me some hope as well.
Yeah,
love it. And am I right in thinking it was celebrating a wedding anniversary?
Yeah, that's hopeful, isn't it? So 33 years of being married. That's really worth celebrating.
Really is.
And still really, full of hope, hopefulness.
And it's an incredible hope for those of us earlier on in our marriages, because there's obviously so much relationship breakdown in our society, isn't there? And seeing people that have seen it through and are still seeing it through. And I think you said to me the other day, it's just getting better. Yeah. And that gives real hope to those of us in sort of earlier on in
good to hear.
In relationships. So So do share your stories of hope. Steve's here this morning as our online chat host. So pass it on through, and he'll respond to messages that come through. It's just so good, isn't it, to hear stories of hope, especially as Rob said earlier, when life is feeling so complicated and overwhelming at the moment. And we're going to take a bit of time now. We're going to have a song that Luke has recorded for us, just talking about looking to God when life's complicated. And just take this as a time just to kind of see what worship's like here at Bookham Baptist Church, but also to have a moment to say, God, I want to see what you can do if I look to you. So thank you very much. Let's listen to God, I Look to You.
Oh, okay. I don't think we've got the song quite working at the moment, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Shall I? We're hopeful for getting it working. A little bit of contribution from downstairs there. So, shall I head into the high five?
Or
Steve's got
share something from online, yeah?
I could say something about this digital pastor role, which is about to come to an end. So this is the final Sunday morning when we'll be having our Starter for 10, which has been aimed at providing like an appetizer for our morning worship, which starts at 10:30 here in the building each week. So those, the previous Starter for 10s, all those that have happened, there must be a good 30 or so of them, will still be on our YouTube channel. You can still pick up on those and then connect through to the sermon that's also there from week to week. But this is the final one of these. So it will be great if we could have some good interaction. So if you're watching online, please do speak to me about hope and what brings hope for you. But I wanted to take the opportunity to give a big thank you for all who've been involved in making this happen from week to week. It's made for quite a busy Sunday morning, actually, for quite some time. The media crew here is second to none. We've got a wonderful band of visual and audio guys guys and girls who week by week come in nice and early on a Sunday, get things set up and make this possible. And so just really want to say a big thank you. And if you get the opportunity in the next week or so of saying a personal thank you to the likes of Phil, Matt or Pete, the many young people who get involved, and Robin, and Lord, I'm not going to remember all their names on the spot, but do say a big thank you and express your appreciation for the hard work they've been doing. It's been absolutely fantastic. And if you've been appetized by what we've been doing, that's been the intention. There's a start of a 10, a little glimpse into what's happening on our Sunday. Then the intention of that was always to get people along to worship here or on the Zoom connection if you're not able to get into the building at the moment. But do come along and be part of this lively worshiping community that we're so glad to be a part of. Okay, and talk to me now if you can. Thank you. How are we doing? We're good to go. So are we back to the worship song?
Yeah.
God, I look to you. I won't be overwhelmed. Give me vision to see things like you do. And God, I look to you. You're where my help comes from. Give me wisdom. You know just what to do. I won't be overwhelmed. Give me vision to see things like you do. And God, I look to you. You're where my help comes from. Give me wisdom. You know just what to do, and I will love you, Lord, my strength. And I will love you, Lord, my shield. And I will love you, Lord, my rock. Forever all my days I will love you, God. Hey, oh, 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 and God, I look to you. I won't be overwhelmed. Give me vision to see things like you do. And God, I look to you. You're where my help comes from. Give me wisdom. You know just what to do. And I will love you, Lord, my strength. And I will love you, Lord, my shield, yeah. And I will love you, Lord, my rock. Forever all my days I will love you, God. And I will love you, Lord, my strength, yeah. I will love you, Lord, my shield. And I will love you, Lord, my rock. Forever all my days I will love you, God. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Hallelujah, our God reigns, yeah. And hallelujah, our God reigns. Forever all my days, hallelujah. Hallelujah, our God reigns, yeah. Hallelujah, our God reigns, oh. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Forever all my days, hallelujah. And I will love you, Lord, my strength. And I will love you, Lord, my shield. And I will love you, Lord, my rock. Forever all my days I will love you, God.
Wasn't that good? Great, what a great song reminding us to look to God in all circumstances. Steve, have we had any response on our online chat this morning?
Yeah, there's been some from Peter Bottomley, who's just noting as restrictions lifted out of COVID and lockdown, that brought hope for him, and seeing so many people coming into the building to be together, again, signs of hope. Barbara wanting to echo those thanks to the media team, especially for the Start of a 10 provision, but that actually that service was itself a sign of hope for her. So.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. And Peter Bottomley, it reminds me of all the stuff that him and his family and team have done for Community Fridge and how much hope that's brought to our community, which is wonderful. Rob, we're going to hand to you. Give us a little teaser of what you're going to be speaking to us about later. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Liz. So we do live in times that can be quite complicated. They can be quite challenging. Maybe we think about our own lives in those terms of being complicated. Perhaps things happen in life that are difficult. Maybe that's a sickness. Maybe that's the death of a loved one. Maybe it's the loss of a job. Maybe it's something else within a family circumstance, a breakdown of a relationship or a friendship or something like that. And we can also look at our wider world, and we can look at what's going on in our wider world, not only in our own country, but across the world. And we can think to ourselves, well, these are tough times. These are difficult times in which we live. And we might be somewhat consumed by worry, by anxiety. And there is a lot of evidence out there at the moment, particularly of young people who are very anxious, full of worry about their lives and about the world in which they live in. And some people are able to cope with that and maybe just get through it. Other people, it's really, really tough. And they find it very difficult to do that. And so I've been thinking about that a bit. And it can feel like we're somewhat in chains, perhaps, when those worries and anxieties come. Or maybe we're carrying this really heavy burden. Maybe we feel like we're in prison, imprisoned even to those things. And there was a story in the Bible, particularly from Acts chapter 16, that came to mind. And it's of Paul and Silas. And they'd been thrown into prison really because they'd done something good. Actually, they'd done something amazing. And we'll be thinking a little bit more about that in our service, actually. But they found themselves in prison. And they did something in that moment. They, instead of kind of feeling anxious, worried, thinking, oh no, what's going to happen to us? We may be here for years even. Instead of doing that, they turned to God in prayer and praise. And I wonder whether when we find ourselves in tough times, in difficult circumstances, in our own lives or when we're thinking about the wider world, I wonder whether it might be a good thing to have that mindset, or ask God to give us the gift of being able to turn to him in prayer and praise. So we'll be thinking about that in our time of worship, in our service together, just in a few minutes' time. And we really encourage people to come along and be a part of that. It's an all-age service today, and so we're looking forward to that. Back to you, Liz.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Rob. Steve, I can hear you typing away, so I'm assuming we've had some responses that you are connecting with. Is there anything you want to share at this point?
I was summarising what Rob was saying a little bit and just kind of pushing it home. But we did hear from Lauren, who said that snowdrops that push through the hard ground while it's still winter and spring is commonly barely discernible, that those are real signs of hope.
They are.
Yeah.
And I love on the fact in a snowdrop, just inside the petal is the image of a heart, and just reminds me of how much we're loved. So thank you, Steve and Rob. Thank you for those who've joined with us this morning on YouTube, and hopefully see some of you in the building soon. Thank you very much for being part of it. Goodbye.